Well, hello everyone in personal finance. I thought I'd reach out to you now as we're coming down to the end of the course and talk a little bit about this section here that you see. This is going to be our a way for us to communicate really in the final couple weeks of the course. Make sure we finish everything on a strong note. I don't want to assume that you don't have any questions or need any clarification as we end the course. So it's been pretty quiet. Everybody's been submitting things. Looks like it's been really going really well. But I think, in the last 2 weeks, we're going to have this news and update section. So here's what you want to do. When you log into Canvas, you go to your course, obviously, and this will be the first thing that will show up. So it's the landing page. It's going to be your new landing page for the course, and that will remain that way all the way through to the end. Just make sure that you look in this area for any new news or updates or videos that I might put in here in the next few weeks. If I do make any changes to the course or clarify anything as we go along, it'll be in here, and it's usually to your best interest to catch up on that. I might change something for the better. That usually means for the easier for the course if we're going to do any tweaking as we get down to the end here. So make sure you take a look at any news and updates before you jump into the module and start doing all your work. All right, well, let's talk a little summary as far as my impressions so far. As I'm shooting this right now, you guys are in Module 5, Week 5 of the course, and getting ready to enter Week 6 on Monday. Today's Friday. It's Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. And the what I'm seeing is really some good jobs with some of you are still doing the concept maps. You like that. Some of you are doing the concept papers. That looks great too. Getting a lot of good content in there. If you are getting a few points off on the papers or the concept maps, let me talk about each one of those. With the papers in general, some of you have specific feedback, but in the papers in general, if the concept papers, if you decide to do that, are really to summarize the information that's been presented in that module. Each module usually has a couple of parts in there. So it should be a summary of that information. And it needs to be, you got to capture all that information that's been presented. That usually takes about 1.5 pages, kind of double spaced. Some of you are using single spacing, which is fine. And I can tell, it's very dense information in there. I don't take anything really off for grammar, but unless it's really to call your attention to it, I might take a few points off. But make sure you're using paragraphs and kind of general writing practice when you're doing these. I'm not looking for APA. I'm not going to beat anybody up over APA format on those summary papers if you decide to do that. But again, a paragraph should be a paragraph, and your sentence should be a sentence. So make sure you're following that if you are getting a few points off on that. But by and large, everybody's doing a great job. Some really impressive concept maps I'm seeing too. I have a few of you that are doing concept maps. If you are getting some points off on the concept maps, it usually means you're not putting enough detail into that. Again, you want to make sure you capture all of the points, the major points of the module, which is the complete module. And then any kind of sub-points, kind of like an outline. You may want to start with that, make an outline, then turn it into a map. However you work is really up to you. But if you're getting points off on that, what I've noticed is some of the concept maps that are a little light. So I'll take a few points off on that just to draw your attention to it in order for you to get the full points the next time around. All right, so that's pretty much it on the work I've seen so far. Again, you guys are doing a good job. Hopefully you're enjoying that. The index card book, the readings are not meant to be too intensive with this class. Again, it is only 1 credit hour. So the readings are pretty light. Tests are, hopefully you guys are doing really good on the tests. For the most part, I think, I'm seeing a lot of 100%, 98% on these quizzes. The quizzes aren't meant to be difficult either. Really just to check your comprehension that you read the material or watched a video. They're usually those quiz questions are coming right out of that reading material, or usually 1 or 2 questions coming out of videos. So there you go. So you guys are doing really good, I think, up in the class going forward. If I see the need, there might be some extra credit opportunity in there. But if everybody's locking in an A, there's really kind of no reason to do extra credit. But stay tuned. If we're going to do extra credit, probably right around Module 7, I'll have an opportunity out there for you. And you can always calculate your own grade and see where you stand and if you even want to do the extra credit. I probably have run this course maybe 15 times, and usually students who do the extra credit don't even need it. So, it's up to you though. But if you like that little blanket, a security blanket, and get some extra points in there, we'll have that out there for you. Again, right around Module 7, and it just needs to be turned in before the end of the course at Module 8 in Week 8. All right, so that's pretty much it, past and present for the course. One of the things I'm going to put in here, if you do have any questions, a few of you have reached out to me, but for the most part, it's been pretty quiet and smooth going, but I don't want to assume that. So what I've done is I've included my cell phone number down below, and feel free to text me anytime if you have any kind of short form questions. And I really prefer, if you're comfortable with it, I like texting. It's a way for me to get back to you very, very quickly, usually within minutes. But if I'm asleep or driving or with my kids or whatnot, I may not be able to get back to you for a while. But it's still quicker than email by far. So do that. If you have a longer form question, feel free to use email, or we can even arrange a time where we could talk on the phone. But 95% of the time, we usually get get your questions answered through text message. So it's another tool to communicate with me if you need it. Again, things have been pretty quiet, but I don't want to assume that there's not any simmering questions out there. All right, that pretty much concludes this quick update video. Again, look for any updates in this area. Everybody have a fantastic Valentine's Day weekend. Thanks.